Black Box Radio. We are in the box. It is our first interview in July, and I'm in one of my favorite spots, guys. I'm in the damn community corner. This is my space. I shares this space with my man Twan. Antoine Qualls L. It's family in here, y'all. We feeling real good. We have a guest tonight, and it's still all family. She's fitting right into the family, so it's like an extended member. We getting ready to go in. You know it's coming. I just want to introduce myself. I'm Queen. I'm a host at Black Box Radio. We are a media platform illustrating Black excellence. We could be found on YouTube at Black Box Radio. We can be found on Facebook, Black Box, or in the community page, Black Box Radio. We could be found on IG. You can't stream in the IG, but we'll definitely have some things on IG. So please check us out. We platform Black people. We 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 bring information to the Black community, and we also want to humanize the experience of being Black to other people and to Black people sometimes, because sometimes we don't even know ourselves. Let's be clear. So tonight I got my co-host, my man Twan. I just feel so good tonight. Twan, say hi to the people.
Back. Back. What's up, Baltimore? Black Box Radio, Community Corner, co-host Antoine. Totally healthy and well in health. Got my girl, one of my girl, my ace, and like Queen, you already know, and the founder of Hope Baltimore helping oppressed people excel, which support and sustains opportunities for oppressed communities and voices for impacted community, basically as they return home for stability and transition in safe environments around the city and around the nation.
Absolutely. Listen, this is a space where community leaders speak what they want to speak. We got some community going on tonight. And let me tell you something. I really wanted to bring a topic tonight because, of course, the community corner has moved into where we're really focused on reentry. We're focused on oppressed people. And it's important to focus sometimes on women because women are entering the criminal justice system more than anyone. Women have lack of services in the criminal justice system. A lot of women are head of families. They're taking care of their own selves. They're taking care of their children, their parents. Women, we have that maternal instinct, and some of us are going to prison. So what does the family do? What kind of services are in prison for women? What is the correctional system doing for women? And also, like when women get out, what's there? How are they being transitioned into society? How are they reconnecting with their families? How are they getting jobs? And I'm not going to say an expert, but she's a damn expert. But she's a damn expert, y'all. Well, we're not going to say expert. We have my sister. We have Unita Crudup. Say hi to the people.
Hello, everyone. My name is Unita Crudup. Nice to be on here. My heart now. At first, we was all conversating. I was all right, but it's just us three. Now it's everybody. Now my heart like this. I'm just so used to doing everything and just being the person behind the scene and just let my work show
right?
Stuff, but I'm always behind the scene. But when you
just roll with us, we got you. We sure enough got you. But we have Unita Crudup, and she's going to give us some insight in a woman that has actually experienced the criminal justice system. So we're going to talk about that, and also like reentry of her coming home and how did that go, and what she's been doing and the advocacy she's doing for other women. So listen, Unita, we got you. Twan got you. I got you. It's just like being in the living room just talking. We good. Okay. We are real good. So yeah, we got you. So let's talk about women in corrections. So women in corrections, we know that the correctional justice system, it has women, it has children. Unfortunately, it has the whole gamut inside the correctional justice system. So for women, how do you feel the services are for women once you are convicted and you're going to prison? What is that transition like?
Hell,
wow.
I mean. Wow. It depends because it seemed like, I'm fed. I did fed time. So fed and state and in county, it's different from
Okay.
so I can't speak on all. I just know being in the feds, I mean, it's not fun or no, ain't no jail fun. It
Okay.
just look like when you just go in a transition, this is, you know, you're in there with so many diversity women that came in, and a lot of people say, you know, you hear each other's stories. Some people is falsely accused for stuff, some people is guilty by association. So it can put you in a different mind state, because being incarcerated, if you're not used to being just in the box all the time, or someone always telling you what to do and what and how to do it, it's like it can break you mentally. Not, I mean, it can
Mm.
really break you mentally. So going in, I mean, it's no getting ready for anything, you know.
It's no
So
getting ready.
yeah, they always say you only do 2 days in jail. Is the day you go in and the day you come out. That's only 2 days you really need to count. But
Really? Wow. Wow. Okay. So let me ask a question. So first, can we talk about how did you get to this point, and then when it did happen, how did you feel that day when they said this is you got 10 years, 20 years, all of that? How is that feeling, and how did you particularly get federal time?
well,
What happened?
whoa.
Not the whole story. What was your
Oh
what was
well,
your
I
conviction?
would
Yeah.
just give you the little part of it is when I had conspiracy with intent to distribute cocaine.
Okay.
I was doing drug trafficking
Okay.
across state lines.
Okay. And were you caught in what state were
I
you in?
never was caught. I was never caught. I got snitched on.
Oh,
Yeah.
somebody was singing to the people.
So
Oh,
it
okay.
wasn't that I got caught. We got snitched on. So it was
Got
that's
snitched on.
yeah. It was
So
never yeah.
getting snitched on, that process is they already have evidence and they just come
Mhm.
and pick you up, or they watch you to get that. How does that go down when you're snitched on?
Well, when we were snitched on, they was video recording us doing transactions and stuff like that, and
Okay.
showing where the transactions was done. It wasn't done in where I live. It was done out of state. It was in a different state and stuff like that. So
Okay.
drug trafficking and caught the charge. Conspiracy
Wow.
because it was a ring. It was a drug ring. So
So let me ask you a question. When you're sitting in court or whenever you see these videos, can you believe that you were doing this and someone's watching you the whole time? I mean, is that like amazing to like, damn, they was there too?
right. And
I
it's
know.
crazy that we're like, I don't even remember seeing this person, but you know, they got cameras there, they set up different ways and all that. So it's like,
Mhm.
really?
Wow.
But yeah,
Wow.
it's amazing technology now. So hey.
Technology. So
And
you
it's
could
even
not
better.
say, well,
So
you could not say it wasn't you. It was you because they had the video. And so when you got this time and they said whatever, 10, 20, whatever, what is the first feeling? What's the first thought as a woman?
I'm gonna miss my kids. Like
Wow.
I did it for the money and some of the stuff that I was going through in my own home. And for me to get away for what I was going through, the streets was it. But I didn't quit school enough. I still went to school and stuff, but the streets had me. That's all I knew, because I didn't want to go to the house. I didn't want to be in that house, and you know, stuff was just going on that I just couldn't,
Mhm.
you know, just be like that. And once the streets got me, it was like, okay, then, you know, being a young teenager, and then once you start getting money and money, like, oh, this is all mine. It's like, hey, I got this, and I'm gonna buy this, and I could buy that. I ain't gotta worry about nobody buying me no new shoes, no new clothes. So it was like the streets had me. It was just
And you already had children then, or
yes. I had two
so
at the
okay.
time. I had one girl, one boy. Yes.
Okay, so the first thought was you're gonna miss your children.
Yeah. I was gonna
Wow.
miss their birthdays. And at the time, my son was like, what, about 3 or 4 months, a
Oh,
baby.
he was a
Yeah.
baby.
And I ain't
Wow.
come home. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I had an interview before, and she said that when women go into the penal system, they lose custody of their kids, and they have to sign their custody over to someone. Did that happen to you, or you were able, or your family was just able to work with you and keep your children, so you didn't have to? Because some women come out and fight for custody of their children again once they come
Mhm.
out. So
That's
what
true.
was your? Yeah, what was your process with your
My
children?
process was because we were staying at my grandmother's home. I gave my grandmother partial custody of them while I was doing my time, but I didn't have to fight for them. Well, my son I did, but I had the rights to get my children back once I got back on my feet.
Got it. I think that to me is an issue because men have children too, and they don't have to go through that process of signing their kids away. Is that right, Twan, or is that am I wrong on that?
I mean, yeah, because like majority of men, like majority of the guys I know don't have custody of their children. The mother has the custody.
The mother has the custody.
You know, whether like you living with them, you with them, but that like, and I was just thinking about that because like when I caught my time and times I got arrested, you know what I'm saying? Like her mother had her, so like I didn't even think about it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? All I thought about was hustling and how in this moment that I gotta provide. You understand what I'm saying? So like when a lot of guys come back home, you know, it's not until like certain implements of child support and all those rules and things have come in place into their life that now they like, oh, I need to fight for custody. And somebody start hipping them and say, oh, well, you know, depending on certain situations of the relationships, you know, that guys like, I'm gonna fight for custody and I'm gonna take my child. She ain't no good. She gotta let me for the nigga and woo. But, you know, one of the hardest gripes that like I had to like confide with myself about, you know, in the times that I was gone in the years that I was around and at the time when me and my daughter mother was going through what we went through, you know what I'm saying, about her raising her and putting her in an environment that was safe away from my lifestyle, you know what I'm saying, and to make it better for them, you know, like was the best thing because it wasn't until like 8 years ago that I made a decision not to go back to prison. You know, my daughter grade be 32 next month.
Wow. So 8 years ago, she was in her 20s.
So like all the way back, and I've been in and out for those years of her life. You understand what I'm saying? So like the woman she is today, and I always tell her I'm amazed and proud and honored of the woman that she is because like ain't no telling if she would have been that woman if I was there.
Wow. Now that's something. Now that right there is something. Like she's saying that, you know, she'll miss her kids, and you're saying that wasn't even a consideration because she was with her mother.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about it, like, damn, what my daughter doing, or whatever. Is she okay? What type of guy she got around her, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing that I knew about her, you dig what I'm saying, that she was well protective of herself. You know what I'm saying? So she was going to do her best to make sure. And like, and some of the times, you know, like homies think like their guys going to show up, family, and out of certain stories, some played parts, but then they fell off.
Got it. So I mean, I wanted to hear that dynamic because our children are our greatest resource. And when the parents go to jail, it's an issue, or go to the prison system, that's an issue. And so, but women have a different thought because, of course, most of them are usually the primary caretaker of the child. And so that's the thing that I wanted to hear. So, Miss Unita, so you said you're going to miss your kids, right? And so while you were in the feds, do you feel like you were properly serviced?
I could say
when it comes to education, resources. I don't know particularly what prison, but do you feel that while you were there that women are getting service, they have enough room to really reevaluate and, you know, and look for a better life while they're inside?
I mean, it's programs and stuff you can attend and get, you know, some time off and good time and stuff like that. I feel like they from resources, It's limited because they ain't gonna give us but so much resources.
Okay.
But where I was, people could go to be a cosmetologist, stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's I guess it's different for different. Every prison is different, so
Okay.
it depends on what type of resources you're trying to get.
Okay. But usually they have trades or something that you can
Yes,
pick up,
yes,
something like that. Okay.
yes.
But more, was there educational program like college? Could you
I
do
don't
that?
recall that. I don't recall that.
You don't
Where I
recall
was
that.
at, I don't
Okay.
recall that they had that. If they did it,
Okay.
I don't even. My mind was somewhere else. I don't know.
Got it. Got it. So okay. How long were you in?
The whole. I'm gonna just give you a whole one
The
whole thing.
whole time. Yeah.
8.5.
8.5 years. Okay. So 8.5 years, you in and out whenever, however you served it. When you come out, what do you got? What you got? What you gonna do?
When I
What
came
happened?
home,
Yep.
I went to a halfway house. Well, y'all call it
Mm-hmm.
transitional home. But the transitional home, then I was on parole, so stayed on parole for like 2.5. Like 2.5 years, because she cut me loose early because I did everything right. So she didn't make me stay on the full parole for the
Okay.
whole term and stuff like that. So after that, started working. This is when we had the MCI Center up here. Now it's the Capitol Arena. I worked there. Then I went from there. My parole officer put me in a program called Project Empowerment for ex-offenders, and that's based in DC. And I came through that program, which that's a very good program. Um,
Okay. And what's
is
the
what
name
you
of
put
it?
into it. Project
Project.
Empowerment.
Okay.
And it's based in DC. And I got my job at the Office of the Attorney General, going through the program, and I was at the Office of the Attorney General for 14 years.
Okay. So what does Project Empowerment? What do? They give you services. They teach you. What's the process?
It's
That you
job
said
readiness, meaning like
job
help you
readiness.
for your resumes, help you be job ready, help you be like for interviews. They help you. I'm so used to being a tomboy, so I'm always dressing down and stuff. Or they had to dress more appropriate, how women carry themselves in the workplace. It's just trying to bond with you so you can try to get the right focus, the right, this is what you don't have to really be there if you don't want to, because they're not going to make you. So it's like, if you really want to make something out the program, you have to do it. It's not them. They're helping us, but you have to do it.
Okay. You got to buy in.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And so you bought in. You got all your job readiness. You got all your stuff together, and then you went to you got a job at the office of. That's a great job. Office of Attorney General, right?
Yes, for District of Columbia.
Okay. And what did that entail? How did you start doing that? Because most of us can't even get a job. Nowhere. How you all the way in the Attorney General's office? That's what's up.
It was through
That's
the program.
bad.
They sent me there for an interview. I did the interview and they liked me and they kept me. And then I
Beautiful.
blast on from there. Just kept going on and on and on.
Excellent. Excellent. You've been there for 14 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's like you got a great story. Shoot. I'm like, shoot. That's excellent. And so, but most women what do like reconnecting with their families, doing the things that they need to do when they come out. Are there a lot of transitional homes? I know there isn't a pre-release center.
Mm-mm.
And is there one in DC?
It is.
Yeah.
It's only one in DC.
It's only for women.
It stay crowded. So that's when we had that conversation. I was like, you know what? I got to open up some more homes to get my sisters and my brothers home, because mind you, a lot of people wait on beds. They could get paroled or probation and early release, but a lot of the terms and the conditions of them being released, they have to go to a transitional home, and then from there, come out of the transitional home to go to their to where they're going to stay, to their residence. Okay. So that holds a lot. That is what is holding a lot of people back, because I have visited a few jails and stuff like that and talked to some of the ladies and some of the guys. It's like they don't have enough beds. They don't have this. So that's where my heart is. That's why I'm pushing forward now, like trying to get these transition homes open, and being one of the first Black women in the DMV You
So let
know.
me ask you this: a transitional home is a pre-release center. So
Yeah, it's like pre-release. It's
so
like
that is pre-release.
when you come home, like if in your order, the judge or however your pre-release order is like saying that you have to go to a transitional home or a program, like Brother Q, they might have to go to a program and he has a program. So when they come home, you know, they know automatically they're going to his program, you know, to whatever's on the court dockets or however they gotta, you know, finish
Okay,
their
so he's the
time.
program, but they need a place to sleep. And
Yes.
that's the transitional homes.
Yes, ma'am. We
So
call
you're
them
saying
halfway houses, but I know
halfway
now
house.
they start saying we have to say transitional homes.
Excuse me, transitional home. Let me be
Yeah, transitional.
industry specific. So these
More
transitional homes.
professional.
Oh, professional. Pardon me.
Yes, finesse.
So these transitional homes, they're not a lot. They're not plentiful in Maryland and DC. Is that the issue, or is that around the country?
I didn't do stats around the country, but I did do most DMV. I didn't do too much in Virginia, but I did do Maryland and DC.
Okay,
They
what is
don't
it
have a
in your
lot of
state?
transitional homes for women
Okay,
to come home who's waiting for beds or have been allowed or parole to come home and stuff like that, but they have to go into a transitional home first. So
got
they're
it.
waiting for bedding. So once a
Wait
bed
for that.
come, yeah, and then when you talk to I forgot the young lady name, golly, it's on the tip of my tongue. I spoke with her. She had women that was supposed to come home, but because they didn't have room, and I think it's like two transitional homes. I know it's one in DC and it is one in Baltimore, but they stay so booked up because everybody got going on a list.
So with a transitional home, it has to be one population. So you can't transition to be men and women. It's just
No, it's women,
it's,
just
it's
only
just like
women.
prison. Okay, so it'll
Mm-hmm.
be only women, only
Mm-hmm.
men. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when there's a transitional home, so it's only one population. So that transitional home is just women living in a house. Wow.
Well,
Like, I mean, you can, and I mean, it goes with the government. I know, like, and I only know from a recovery aspect, right? Like, you can have co-ed. Like, you got some co-ed houses, but
Okay.
they don't want men and women in rooms together unless they're in a relationship.
Got it. Got
You
it.
know, so like, I think a lot of majority of the time that people stipulate the separation is because when you start doing that, you know what I'm saying, you taking on bonding and putting people together that, I mean, we always talk about this when the trauma of like not knowing who you with and why y'all really in it together can like divert your primary purpose.
Mm.
It
and
can
then go ahead, Q, go ahead, bro.
really be like this person want to be home, but this person doing it because they just may need a place to live,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then we're in this relationship. They trying to excel and set up something, and they setting up a progress plan for them to exit out in 6 months, while the other one just in a relationship and may not be working on that. And then it comes another thing.
Got it.
Baby might pop up, and
It
like
didn't pop up. I tell you that. It didn't pop. You popped it. But I get what you say. So it might be a child that's conceived. And then now we got a whole nother thing going on.
you got a whole family. Now we need family transition houses,
Wow.
and like me say, like I know certain, like I know the state deals with a lot of recovery programs because they set up that way with transition houses, but then it doesn't concur to the stability of the work that we're doing, because then it comes a conflict with someone's trying to like, well, they need to do this first, but we need to do all of it as a collaborative team. To fit, you know what I mean? The NA is a part, you know what I'm saying? The barriers is a part, the registering, the voting, the educating on job placement, therapy therapy coaching models, mentoring groups, it's a lot of community advocating. It's a lot of things we need to like look at that plays a part to make it whole.
Got it.
I also want to piggyback off what he said. I look at, the reason why I'm doing only women for right now is because you don't know what a woman been through to add men into a home. Some of these women could have been abused in so many ways, mentally, physically, however. So my thing is me opening a transitional home for women. I also want to open a transitional home for men. But right now, my focus is trying to get more of my sisters home. And then I would work on, getting another transitional home to see how my first transitional home go. But I wouldn't put co-ed together because some of these women could be traumatized by men or not ready for that. Some of them might be, some of them not. But I don't even want to put someone in a situation that they're going to be uncomfortable. I just want everybody, to come home comfortable, and then like brother Q said, you don't want them to have a mindset like, oh, I about to get a little boyfriend, my boyfriend downstairs and this and that. So mind you, I want these women to stay focused. I want them to start building their self up. Men is out here, what I'm saying? Men is always going to be out here. But right now they need to focus on the fact that, look, you got to get your life together. And then some of them might have to fight for their kids. We got a lot of stuff to do. I'm just going to say recuperate. It's like you know what I'm saying? So give you a chance to breathe. You're home, even though you're in my transition home. Yeah, you're home, but mind you still got some more stuff to do because you still got to grow. You stop some growing in there because can't come home with this jail mentality or being in that mental state. Let's work on this, and that's why I'm in it to help these women. And like I said, my brothers too. But right now, my transitional home is open for women.
For women, okay. And I think that's something that's needed because I think in Maryland there's no pre-release center for women, right, Antoine?
No, they closed it down. And like the two places that they did have. One was at St. Ambrose, the old nun house that's on Park Heights. And that only held like 15, 20 women. But then they had Franklintown Road that was like an emulation of what like BCCC Baltimore Correctional Minimum Security was like on Greenmount for women. So in there they had like I guess like certain amounts of times when they could come out or things of that nature. But then, I think VOA also for the feds is the part halfway house. That's only what I know, but I know men go there, but I'm not for sure or not whether women are in there or not, So one of the things that like we've been really trying to look at is that with this women's pre-release bill, is that how does not building another correctional center for women, what I'm saying, but making a place in society where it be a stable home, living quarter environment where it can be like they take an apartment building and it's 10 apartments in there, that's 10 living quarters that 10 women can get released into that there they can go to work, they can gain custody of have their children, earn their children back into their lives and men and bond with them, go through trauma processes, start relieving, and then like you say, we don't know the effects from behind the wall that women have endured from correctional officers failing on them, looking at them, sexualizing them, the abuse or whatever, like because they behind the wall and someone feel that they abandoned them, and now they in a situation where they have to do more than what they wanted to do. On the other side, and I always say that men need to really look at, because I used to go see this female I used to deal with that was in a women's cut. And the guard used to say to me, like, only fathers, uncles, and mothers come down here. And I used to be like, well, many women that line up and take 3, 4, 5 hour trips up Hagerstown, Cumberland, and ECI to come see men, but it wasn't a lot of dudes like going down there. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, is it that these women are not involved with guys, or did the dude at the end like, oh, I'm done, you on your own? You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the like most hardest pieces for me, because like walking in that gate and like visit her, and when it was time to leave, I was like, wow, she can't go. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be there, not her. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I can do this.
Crazy, right?
I know what to do. I can do this. You know what I'm saying? But then, like, on the other side, like, yeah, that shit.
And I also think men have more. They have more choices in society. When it comes to women, there's a plethora of available women. There's not a plethora of available men, and unfortunately, and I think a lot of times men can not. They can say once you get into that situation, like next one, because there's so many women awaiting relationships and waiting to be with someone. But when it comes to women, they're going to prison. So you go watch this. They go to the playground. They go everywhere looking for mates, because unfortunately there's not a lot out here, and so that's why I think a lot of that goes on. Do you think that, Unita, where men have more options than women?
Yes.
Yeah,
I do.
I think that's what it is. It's the options. Yeah,
it's very shortage of men.
It's a shortage. Of men.
It's very shortage of men.
That's what it all boils down. Because men, trust me, if men had less women, they'd be at the prison too.
And I'm saying it in a way that some of these men in their 40s and 50s, and they not men. So that's why I say it's a very shortage of men. There's still men out here, 40s, 50s, in these ages.
Even the men even the males that are present aren't particularly men. Let's be clear.
No, they still doing playground stuff, like you said. So
that's what I think when it comes to the women. And so you don't see no men going. They don't have to go visit women, because it's 50 of us outside waiting. Unfortunately,
you probably meet somebody in line while you waiting to go in to see you.
That's it. You don't even gotta go. That's messed up.
Wait in line. Nice.
Yeah, you're gonna wait in line. So that's unfortunate, though. The women are not getting. They're not getting outside interaction from males while they're inside. You know, that unless it's their father, uncle, like you said. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate.
One of the things I wanted to ask, like, it's like it's a lot of traumatizing pieces that like we go through as being incarcerated. That when them cuffs go on you and they walk you out from being sentenced, and then like your family is just sitting there, and like you there, but like what the hell now, or like the time when a woman's like, a dude always turn around and like, yo, is my girl here, or is shorty here? Is my shorty here? But what happens when the woman is in that same situation? As far as receiving letters, money orders don't come through, such and such, you got to visit. Like, dudes be like, yes, shorty came through. Or dude, when the female in there and they like, girl, you got to visit. Like, huh? You know what I'm saying? And that whole response, but then, I know, like, in the feds, it's so much distant travel. It's like shipment. It's like
they move you around a lot.
Yeah, they can move you around a lot. They don't really. You don't really stand still too long in the feds for most women.
The rest of certain, like, because I know certain dudes go in and they didn't really like think about visits or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because they was always like, bro, we was always moved 30 days here, 60 days there, 90 days here. But like, for a woman to not connect and then having them children and things of that nature, I know like that's a piece of trauma that like some women won't even discuss.
It's hard because sometimes everybody say, oh no, this my friend, it's my man, it's my girl and stuff. But as soon as something happened, everybody disappeared. So where's the love just because I'm behind a wall or behind these bars? Why can't I still get that same comfort or that same love? So when I come home, don't feel like, oh, we coos, we buddies. Nah, once I went in, that was it. That's how I feel. I mean, some women might feel like that, some women might not, but that's how I feel. If we supposed to be so-called friends and buddy, we could go and do all this crazy stuff when we home and all that. But then once one of us get locked up, it's like everything cut off. Communication. They didn't say I was dead. You could reach me, but like you say, even if you write on the letter, hey, I was just thinking about you. I just want to fly you. Well, we call them kites. I'm gonna fly you a kite. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't have to be no 4 or 5 page letter. We ain't in love. We just friends.
Right,
you know,
right.
so a lot of women feel like a lot of the visits come from like sometimes even in family like that. And a lot of people that say they're your family, they're not your family. I don't care if you blood or not, you're not my family.
I know.
Wow. So you're saying women sometimes feel abandoned?
Yes.
While they're
yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
It really is. It really is. It's hard, especially when you have children and you go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, my son was in Pampers. You know, and when I came home, he was walking, and then I felt bad because my son wasn't like mom or mommy and stuff. He called me by my name. He say Nita. He do that today. The only time my son called me mommy, if he get in some trouble, I know for a fact if I answer the phone and he say mom, I would say what you do, or what's going on, because that's the only time that man would say, hey mom.
Yeah.
So hey, but I mean, it's all in love. It's no disrespect. It's no love. It's just my grandmother raised them. You know, so he more so attached to her because I was gone. And I'm not mad at it. I'm mad at myself, but I did what I had to do, and the streets is what it is. So,
yeah,
wow, that's hard. That is definitely hard. The relationships with your children, and also, even relationships with your family, your own mother, your grandmother. How did that go with your grandmother? How did that relationship? Oh, she's gone. So we're gonna keep talking, Twan. She's gonna come back.
Yeah. That was one of the pieces I always thought about, and like dudes used to fly kites to each other, and the women at one time from Hagerstown to the Cut, you know what I'm saying, or like Infaz joints, and then like now, like you had these date sites and things of that nature, and I know a lot of times, people utilize them and they making money knowing the abandonment and that social relation part that people need. That's a way, let's keep it a date site. Let's give it to the inmates and let them, that can be their social communication. That can be their therapy. But in the real result, like how...
I think it's a distraction. I think it's a distraction, though.
Yeah, I mean, it can, but like for what some people may need. But then the other part is who get burnt and get played in the process that causes more trauma. And we look at, some women meet guys and it's a wonderful thing. You know what I'm saying? Or some men, weak women, and they be there exactly. But then we got those who are just predators. They looking for a measurable way to attack and monopolize, like the power to place someone in that same hurt that they was in.
Wow.
Intentionally.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen on the dating sites, you look in the back and the person's in prison. I'm like, wow. I mean, I just don't understand. and I don't do the dating sites. I don't think that makes sense to me. But I don't understand how, you're out here. I'm free in my living room, and I look at and I see you sitting on a twin bunk. I'm like, well, what we talking about? But that's what's happening, and people are having real relationships like this, and I think it distracts you from your own growth. I think that relationships you can have a social position, and definitely should have some social positions with people. You should meet people, but I think your focus should be to being your best person and trying to get to a point where you're getting ready to get out, or just your mindset. And what if you're a person that's got 100 years? Who are you dating? I don't know. I don't know about no dating sites in prison. What you think about that, Unita?
I think it's just for fun. They need all the girls, but whoever fun. I think it's all for fun. I don't think they're gonna make you their main girl, or you might be their main. I don't even know. But to me, it's for fun. Honestly, I think it's to take what they're going through just for a minute. If it's just for a 5-minute conversation, 10-minute conversation, it's just to take their mental out of what they're going through and what their state where they're now. That's it.
Okay. So you don't have a problem with the dating site. It's socialization to you. It's fun.
I'm not doing that, but I'm just saying that's how I would look at it. Because if you're talking to
I ain't doing that.
I'm just saying I have talked to an inmate, but it's like, well, that was totally different. But mind you, it wasn't through no dating site. But I'm just saying, if you talk to an inmate, to me, I just think it's like if they on the phone talk to you, like I say, it's just trying to take their mental state of what they're going through. I'm not, I don't say everybody go out here and talk to a bunch of inmates. I mean, everybody's gonna do what they want to do, but I'm just saying. You gotta learn some background.
Inmates need love too. That's what they said.
They still people. They just in a situation. They still human.
Absolutely. Some of the most
bad
people are behind the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like one female told me, said, like, man, Twan, what y'all doing in education on empowerment, but she was like, when you was in prison, did you ever think like where? And I remember when they first came in with PlayStations, and how I was like, bro, I'm getting back in the library. I'm kidding about no PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? And guys was absolutely like one of my cell buddies. He stayed in the cell all day, just on the game, all day long. And I was like, yo, you going out for rap, or you going for such and such? Oh no, I'm cool. And then it got to a point where they started allowing them to hook it up in the rec hall. So then it was like frustration started happening because sport night, dudes was like, yo, hook that game up. Movie night. But then other than that, dudes on the phone. Like, it's so many different altercations our minds are clacking through in these cycles. And like, we adapting into an environment that survive at any moment that the wrong crossing, your life can be over. But then like understanding that to stay focused and to survive, to like think about, is my family good? And like need to say, like, some of those routes have been escapes. You know what I'm saying? To escape those things so that some people just don't crack. Because I done seen people crack. Walking up compounds, picking up medication and just eating it off the ground. That's why I always tell people that's where the first big form of pharmaceutical use I seen was in prison.
Really? Huh. You're saying something. So you're saying the pill started, they tested it out in prison and then brought it to the streets, eh?
Absolutely.
Ooh, wow. That's a whole nother show, Miss Nita. We'll
be back on that.
We'll be back to that. That's a whole nother show. Okay. Man. So
that's why I say, well, for me opening up this transitional home for women, and it's just giving me that platform. Like, I have always, like, my friends, I love my girlfriends. Like, I have a few girlfriends, but I love them to death. And I know they would do anything for me and I would do anything for them. But me talking to some of the women that has been incarcerated, some of the women that still is incarcerated, and hearing their pain and what they not getting, like you said, some of the resources and stuff that they aren't getting and stuff like that. I just want to be their voice, or I want to be able to have something to say, oh, you know what, you're waiting for this. So when I go to the jail and visit some of these women or talk to these counselors and stuff like that, we can I could be like, oh, you know what? I got a bed for you. I'm the type of woman that I've been through pain. And I talk to you, Miss B. Like, I've been through some serious pain. And but I don't brush that off on everybody because that's what I've been through. That's my pain. But mind you, I wouldn't even call it pain no more. I just called it that I went through something that, it happened to me then when I was a child, but I'm older now. I'm over it. I can talk about it without tears. I can, still live my life. But mind you, it still holds a little bit. It might push me back some. But mind you, some of these women, like you say, it's not even just the women, men hurt too, but it's like some of these women, they need this help. Like, and you know what, a blessing, I swear to God, you got me crying because meeting brother Twan, like meeting Q was like, ever since I told him, like, look, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to go about this. He been like on it. You need it. He'll email me and put me on the email with somebody like, oh, this a council member. This who you need to talk to, and this who you need to go with. And I'm meeting all these people. And when I tell them my story, and when I tell them, look, this is what I want to do, everybody has been backing me up and be like, you know what? You could do it. This is what you want to do. We're gonna help you. And so and I feel like that, and I feel like, God, they gonna help me, an ex-offender. Hey, since they can help me, I'm gonna help my other sisters and brothers. Get out here. If you need a bed, and if I got one open, all I'm not doing is sex offenders. I mean, I ain't trying to say that
that's a special house, though. That's a special house.
Only thing I'm not allowing right now is just sex offenders. And it depends on the type of sex offense it is. You know what I'm saying? So other than that, I'm gonna tell all these women that if I can do this and you need a bed and I have a bed open, you're more than welcome. But if you come, and I'm telling straight, you come here and mess up, you out. It ain't no, oh, sis, nothing. I'm not sis. My name is Unita. I'm helping you. And you gotta go, you gotta go. I tried.
Yeah, man.
I tried.
I always tell you, we get one shot, and everybody waiting for a moment to say, I told you so.
Mm-hmm.
I told you that's what they was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And
I love you too, T. That's one of my girlfriends. One of my best friends just say I love you too, T.
The focus of how we can help, then help can proceed. But like we started in the beginning, like knowing these things and knowing who has to be there to be the residual voice for the help, because like talking with DPSCS the other day, I was like, y'all have a lot of plans, but like, who are the impacted people that y'all allowing that's in this work today that has recognition that when people see us behind that wall, they're going to relate different. They're going to respond different. Their aspirations of just seeing us come back in and then be like, you can go back out. Like, bro, or sis, you can do the exact same thing. I never like.
I got something that's about to blow us out the water because I keep going back to resources. Because mind you, you know how you all push for women and the guys to be able to vote while they're incarcerated. This is my thing. If I'm incarcerated and I can vote, none of these people that's running for office never came to the jail to say, this is what I'm willing to do for you. This is my goal to help you all. So how am I behind these walls supposed to vote for someone I don't even know nothing about?
Right.
So all these politicians, I mean, that is like one of the biggest things. You give us the voting rights, but how am I vote for you when I don't even know nothing about you?
People in the hood say the same thing, sis. People in the hood say the same thing.
We don't get TV 24 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? You got to get locked down at some time, and everybody don't watch the same thing. So, and they don't give you a whole bunch of TVs. You in one TV and one TV in the corner. You might have two TVs in two different corners, but mind you, it's different stuff on there. Everybody not into politics. So to me, if you're running for office and you know that inmates, and matter of fact, they're not inmates, our brothers and sisters that's currently in a situation has the right to vote. But how can they vote for you when you ain't there to tell us nothing about you? And
that's a word. That's a word, y'all. Y'all better hear that word. Come to the damn prison. Yeah, that's a word right there. I don't know if even politicians are thinking that, because that's a huge population now that is now voting and has the right to vote, and they really don't know what they're voting for. Let's be clear. Wow.
I have, even doing stats. I mean, messing with Q, he got me looking at all types kinds of stats, because me opening this transition home, I'm like, hold on, let me see what's going on with these council members and this people here. Like, I've actually been doing homework on this, because mind you, I don't want to get caught up in that web, like he said. I don't want to get caught up in that web and I'm opening my own transition home, but then I don't want to get caught up in that web, like, oh, you supporting this person, but this person ain't doing what he's saying. You know, a lot of them do that. But mind you, I'm for to help my brothers and sisters to come home. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, when I cut that ribbon, whoo, in front of my transition home, block box, just be ready, because we going live.
I love it. And I really hope you do that. But what you said about the politicians, that's something, Twan. She said a word in that one.
Yeah, you know, that's one of the things that me and Nicole basically like talked about like this year, and looking at in the local jails and county jails that we go into to register people. You know what I'm saying? That who's from a candidate's office that's campaigning, that's going with us to talk with them directly about what's the issues, hear their issues, you know, and then looking at how, and, you know, I said to Nicole, you know, like, they avoid questions that we asking them and duck and run. People who got time to think all day, one thing I know, like, people behind the wall,
man, they come up with a whole song, huh?
You can't run.
A movie, a book, a song, you know.
Hey, listen, you gotta stay sharp, ready. Man. You gotta know it, because if you don't, like we always say behind the wall, if a person see one person do something, everybody else gonna come at you. So you gotta check that one first.
Got it.
Set them up, like that ain't happening, because that's dying right here. But if you come in there and say, oh, I'm an advocate for da-da-da-da, and they like, bro, so what you advocating for? Or did another one say, you an advocate, what y'all do? You know, how you gonna help me? You know, everybody start popping. And if you can't put it all together and lay it on the table and say, for you, my man, bop, 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 sis, for you, da-da-da-da, you know what I'm saying? If you can't, it's gonna be hot water and hell in that.
Yeah, they're gonna eat you alive. And see, the bars, they don't just open. You can't just run. So you have to sit there, and that's fearful for politicians, because they always want to out, and they answer questions so neutral. And so a lot of times, you know, going in that situation, I'm sure that's a fearful situation for them. That's a fearful situation for me. I want to do it, but I mean, that's definitely a lot. You got to know your stuff. You can't come in there with no neutral stuff like we want to help all people. They don't want to hear that shit.
Not a lot of water.
Like I know, like all of us have impacted and saved more lives and helped other people save other lives than more lives are being killed. You know, because I looked at something today, like something that a lot of people don't talk about Baltimore, right? From 1990 all the way to 99, every year they had over 310 murders.
Wait a minute. Slow down.
No, it's that.
No, slow down. I want to hear that again. You said from 19. Wait, slow down. Slow down. You said from 1990 to 1999, there was always more than 300 murders in Baltimore City.
300 murders. And from 2015 till now, it's been over 300 murders. But none of them has touched the 1 year of 1993 where it was 355. So we talking about a 30-year span that one record still stand that hasn't been touched, and they haven't found a way to find a resolution to bring it down. But what I do believe is they have organized from the 1980s to 90 that it was under 200, and then from 2000 all the way to 2014, it was 200.
Okay, and why was that?
You found what I'm saying? Why was that? Why wasn't it like so? From 1993, so from the 90s to now, you're looking at that generation that was birthed out of that. The sons and daughters are the ones that are living now.
That's what I'm saying. So now what you're saying is the ones who are murdering now came from the murderers of 1990 to 1999.
Yep.
So now you see children birthed out of that. They're emulating the same behavior because they live through violence, and it's now inherent for them to be violent. Is that what you're saying to me today?
Exactly.
Wow. So you're saying from 2015 to 2022, there's always been more than 300 murders in Baltimore City. Wow.
And then the parents that lived in the decades of the 90s that went to prison for the shooting. Now, notice in the 1990s when the highest rate of incarceration started happening around the world, it rose. It grew dramatically.
What grew dramatically?
Incarceration.
In the 1990s, that's when prisons were swelling. They were growing so fast.
Zero tolerance, over incarceration, over sentencing, mandatory life sentences, mandatory subsequent handgun offenses, drug 25 to life drug trafficking charges. You know what I'm saying? Plea outs of interstate trafficking model from the DMV in Maryland. You know what I'm saying? And now the greatest thing is now here are the predators that are the reward killers, and we have to focus in repeat offenders. And I keep asking people, like, repeat offenders was a term that DOC gave to you if you violated parole more than once. You know what I mean? You kept coming back on parole violations. But now repeat offenders is anyone that they say repetitiously repeats the same cycle of arrest. You know, so
the whole meaning got changed.
The whole meaning.
That's something that you would that how your information, like from the one era, and then you had that low time after from 2000 to 2014. What happened then? Why weren't there over 300 murders in Baltimore City? And then we pop up in 2015, and now we've consecutively have more than 300 murders in Baltimore City. Has anybody studied why? What are the triggers? What happened? You know what I'm saying? Twan?
All I hear so far is vote for me.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all them politicians say, vote for me. But they really not showing us
nothing.
Nothing. I mean,
there's no imagination
on here. She's from Baltimore, but I'm about to be a resident of Baltimore. But mind you, it's crazy that for them to say that they're willing to help and all this, but where's the help coming? Who are you helping? Because the minority, it seemed like they're still struggling. And then reading, because I also said I wanted to do my own little youth program. They don't have a lot of youth programs out there. They done took recreations down. They done took basketball courts down. I understand they try to do stuff because a lot of the drug dealing and all that. You're not going to be able to stop that. That's life. But at least let these children have somewhere to go. Because that is like an outlet for some kids. Some kids, you don't know, like I say myself, you don't know the abuse or nothing I endured in my home. But for me to have a recreation center or for me to go to chilling practice or something, that was an outlet for me to get away of what I was getting or what I was going through at home. Now you have these kids, I ain't gonna say kids, these children in these places, they're like, damn, all I could do is go and sit on the corner, go on my girl house, I sit outside, or what all thing they want to do now is smoke and drink, because that's a hobby now. You know, hey, let me go and roll this J, let me do this, because you don't give them no type of structure. You're not as a community. If you're going through, if you're a politician and you want someone to vote for you, you go through the community, and yeah, you might sit with a few people for a commercial. The hell with that. I don't want to see your commercial. I want to see you at real doors. Go into the heart of Baltimore, or go to these neighborhoods that really need the assistance and help them. How you want somebody to vote for you when you're not out here helping, but just vote for me? I plan on doing this. So don't you ain't gotta tell me this to look good. I heard this a lot.
I think that politics is a lot of trickery too. You know, they get in there through trickery, and they utilize it to stay in power and actually get rich. But some help. I'm not saying they're not helping, but I know Baltimore has a plethora of issues, and I don't hear anyone with a real plan. I hear these neutral, and then, you know, my father said to me, let me tell you what he said to me. He said his whole life, all he's ever heard was politicians say the same thing. We're gonna stop crime. They all campaign on the same thing.
Money maker.
Every year.
Money
When
maker.
he said that to me, it blew my head off. Because he's right. They all campaign on the same thing, the murders, the this, and they don't do. And then the next 4 years, they come to you with the same message. Nobody has any imagination in politics anymore.
You know, this thing is what they call the unseen hand, right? Where a cabinet of people is the government legislation voices for a city. But then the things that they focus on is for the benefit of what keeps them being paid.
Of course.
So they come out like they have a real interest to change some things, and we show this is our hand. We're gonna lay it on the table, and this is what we're gonna do. But the unseen part is resources, funding, houses, and all that everything to nurture a community, education, rec centers, and all those things are going to be taken from you unsanely, little by little, unsanely. And then that one person going to show up and say, oh, well, our plan was, and we got this reserve plan, it's going to work. Bro, we ain't got 5 to 7 years. 5 to 7 years, I might not even be here. Because the youngin' that's coming out of the house in the next 30 months or the next 10 months, for what he need to feed his gut, he might take that in the next hour.
Yeah, that's it. You have no imagination, and the imagination is a 5-year plan or a 7-year plan. So that means you want to be voted in a few times before you can get your plan to work. When people should suffer until you get your plan to work and keep voting for you so we can see the plan. It's some BS. I'm trying not to
mama. Unseen hand, never let them know your trickery.
I also feel like for women that's coming home, well, I'm just gonna say for the offenders that are coming home, I think the cities should also help them understand that how to go about certain resources. Meaning, like, you know, you come home, you're gonna need Medicaid, you're gonna need this, because a lot of people been in. So, you know, since they've been in, a lot of stuff might have changed and new rules, you know, a lot of stuff have changed. Some of them could go to programs, some of them can't, but give them, like, I think they should have some type of booklet or something together to say, oh, these are the resources if you need Medicaid, food stamps, housing. Go down the line and let them know, because when you come out the door, I mean, it's like, damn, I didn't know the bridge was built over there, or, you know, they don't know. They don't know. Like I say, it's not a 24-hour TV, and then when a TV on, it's probably movies, like Brad said, movies or some shows or something like that. We're not following politician in there.
Well, let me tell you something, Miss Unita. The system is not set up to help. The system is set up to regulate, implicate, and keep you there so it can replicate. That's the system. And we are coming from a place where we want to help people. We want to help our community, but the system is not set up for that. And I think a lot of times we think that, oh, it should be. But if the system had all that set up, you wouldn't need the system because you don't have to go in if they would if they would put all the things in place to help you. Mm-hmm. They can do that from the door. You don't have to go in freaking jail. Release the resources to everybody. Let me tell you something. A neighborhood that has vitality, that has jobs, that has credit scores, that has places for children to have outlets and grown-ups to have outlets, they don't have time for crime. You get what I'm saying? So if you wanted that to happen, you would set up every neighborhood and make it have vitality. Then we don't have to go through this shit. But that's not what the system wants. The system makes money. How much money they make per prisoner, Twan?
39,000. Yeah, 39,000. Hey, I mean, it's on different states because, like, Birmingham is anywhere from 47 to 52 a year.
Listen to that. Per prisoners, Ms. Nita. Imagine that. You gonna give up your 50 a year and tell them where to get Medicaid and where they don't give a damn about no damn Medicaid. You better come on back here so I can get my money. They are corralling bodies. And we talk about, oh, they should have a list and they should help. They ain't helping shit. Excuse my language. You're making me curse, Nita. I told you stop.
Hey,
I just thought I threw it out there. I know it'll get somebody.
Sis, I always say this, right? That, like, there was a time in life that, Nita, we never thought, like, we would, like, lead that game. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But in the concept of where we was at and stuck, they knew what they had long as we wasn't aware. Mm-hmm. Now, like, we aware, we more of a threat than anything.
Wow.
I know, like, and I say it all the time, right? Like, I tell my guys and homies, I like, bro, just be on awareness, because, like, I'm going to educate this thing, man, and I'm going to a level where it's going to benefit us, where we can raise each other. But the infiltrators that they make similarity like us, and they give them the places inside to damage others, and then we got to catch them after they damage to, like, return down and then rebuild them.
You're right. Because the system is working for itself, and they put people in there to feed the system. You know what I mean? It's really ugly. I know what you're saying, Ms. Unita. It should be this, it should be that. They don't want that. So the process is we have to set those things up. Right. Twan has a program. You're going to have your transitional home. You're going to have services in that home. That is the only way for us to start changing people and changing their trajectory. Because if we wait on the system to do it, they're staying there year after year after year. Am I right, Twan?
Like, think about like, and it's a few guys I know, and I'm trying to tell them this, right? We know individuals that have businesses that makes communities rotate. A couple friends of mine, they like throw these reunions every year where they load 3,000 people into one hall. Then the other one, like, got barbershops. Another one got a car lot. Another one got a realty company. Another one got, like, concrete. They got truck companies. And I'm telling them, if we all come together and formalize this as a dominant community co-op, flip houses, cement it, put take the money out of the hall, you know what I'm saying, and let the bank and everybody fluctuate $2 on $3 or whatever, and you give loans, and I say we can start our own banking system. You ain't need them for nothing. But then who gonna get at the table and say, man, we just generated $100 million? What? Yo, you know such and such, and they got Unita, and they got Twan, you know. So now we got the other one gonna feel like they ain't getting what I'm getting.
Yeah.
And I ain't getting what they getting. So guess what, yo? I'm gonna get them. And they like, guess what? Yo, we heard you trying to get such and such. We'll give you the guns.
Yep.
But we're gonna legalize marijuana, and we're gonna make everybody smoke marijuana.
Everybody gonna smoke. And that's really where we are, is we don't understand how to be collaborative. And then when we do get collaborative and we figure it out, somebody infiltrates. They give us guns. They give us weed. They give us coke. They give us pills. We always get infiltrated by the outside. So we got to find a way to stay collaborative and build from there. But guys, we're an hour and 10 minutes in.
All right, well, this is my last thing. This is my last thing right here.
Let me say something. Let me say something before you say something. We're an hour and 10 minutes in, so you know we're about to end this thing. So I want you to definitely give your last jewel. Tell the people something good. Leave a jewel. Say what you want to say, and then leave a jewel with the people. Okay?
Go ahead, bro. You go first.
No, you didn't, Nita.
So I love you, Short. I got you, Short. You know, as I say, like, we had to like invest in each other and be willing to like secure that investment in each other. So each of us can show why we invest in each other, to build a community, to be a community, and raise a village. You know, the one thing, like one of my friends told me, he said, man, when we start looking at places to live, we got to look at the security foundation for raising our families. It has to be a food app, banking, laundromat, bus routes, driving routes. You know, it has to be all those secure things there to stabilize the community, and everybody has to play a part for it to survive. So, you know, one thing I always say, like, in order to build something, we gotta look at the part that everybody can play and what tool they got. And those who got tools and don't know what to do with them, just ask for help, because there is help.
Love it. Collaborative lifestyles. All right, Miss Unita, I love it. You passed the Dutchie so quick. Now it's back in your stuff. Back in your
mama.
But all I really want to say is to my sisters, look at all the pain that we all went through, and some of us are still going through. But mind you, don't let that take you under. And like Twan said, you can always reach out to us or reach out to Black Box and get our information, anything that we can help you with and get you through what you need to get through. And for that, you know, I'm just blessed to know these folks and to be able to be on a platform with people that's really trying to help us out here. Because when you have ex-offender behind your name or you did time, they look at you different. Like you'll never change. Like you never won't be nothing. But I would tell you from my experience, I am better than what I ever have been. And I went to jail, came home, still got a college degree, and I'm still moving. I ain't letting no government stop me again. You know, ain't nobody out here that's the judge, jury, and prosecutor. That's going to be me now. So for you all, I love you, everybody. And, you know, if I can help in any type of way with any resources, or if you need someone, or if you know someone that needs help, you know, you can always still reach out to me. God bless.
Love it. Don't go nowhere, Unita. Don't go nowhere. Okay. Listen, we were honored to have you. The Community Corner is a great space, and I love the messaging that we're putting out there, especially when it comes to people who really might not have resources, might not know where to get them from, and then also to see you guys, how you've changed your life. I'm honored to be in space with you guys, because you know, some of us don't go through nothing. We think we went through something because we didn't get the best crab cake last week. You know, so, but you know, I mean, real talk, people going through small, like, dang, I get my good crab cake. But real talk, there's people going through real hard stuff out here, and they've been to jail, and they're going through issues, and you guys come out and you be channeling your lives. But not only that, you're helping others, and that's what it all is, because we all live here to help someone else, and that's particularly what it's all about. So, Miss Unita, you keep up the good work. We're gonna open that transitional. Are you gonna open it in Baltimore?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's gonna be beautiful. Be more is coming. Yay, yay, yeah, yeah. I love that. So be more getting be more getting a TH, a woman, a WTH, a woman transitional home. Yeah. I love it. That's gonna be something to see, and I can't wait for that to happen. I know it's gonna happen. I know you are determined. Every time I talk to you, talk about this transitional home. So you're determined. Every time I talk to her, she's talking about this transitional home. So she is determined to do that. So listen, yeah,
Girl,
real talk. She is really on
Twan,
that.
you getting tired of me, bro?
Never.
Say something else about this damn hoe.
This transitional home. Every time I hear her.
How you, Shaw? You my ace, son.
So listen, we are boxed up and out. Can I get some deuces from the clan? Let's get some deuces. We out of here. Deuces. Black box out.
Watch it.
Good night, guys. Don't go nowhere, Unita.
I'm not. I gotta ask y'all a question too, because I was